I've always had a crush on someone memorable from my high school years. I made a decision while holding the class reunion invitation that was in the mail. If she shows up, I want to share with her the emotions I had in high school. I made the decision to go to the reunion with that promise in mind. I had no idea at the time that this choice would alter my destiny. My name is James, and I'm simply a regular office worker without a significant other. I felt left behind as my friends began getting married one by one. But I didn't have the luxury of finding a partner because of my hectic job schedule. Then I came home one day and looked in the mailbox. Class reunion invitation was written on an envelope. I opened it and saw a high school reunion invitation. There was a QR code on the invitation that took me to a portal where I could check if I was going. Even though the reunion was set for a Saturday, I was unable to go because it coincided with a hectic time at work. Despite my desire to visit my high school friends, I felt compelled to miss it. I was about to lose up and hit "will not attend" to email it when I suddenly realized what I had to do. My mind immediately came up with the name Madison, which I had hardly considered before today. During my 3 years of high school, Madison was the girl I had been deeply in love with. I tried to remember Madison then, when she was tiny and beautiful. If Madison will be present. I was only interested in what had happened to Madison, whom I hadn't seen since high school. Even though it wasn't like, I still harbored affections for her. I pressed the "will attend" button and sent it, motivated by the possibility that Madison would be present. The reunion day finally came. Conversations were flourishing as old acquaintances were happily catching up at the venue. I grabbed a glass of iced tea and searched for Madison. She's there. Ah. Madison was surrounded by a number of women who were complimenting him on his appearance, saying things like, "You were cute in high school, but now you're even more stunning, and you've become even more beautiful." Madison was indeed more attractive now than she had been in high school. She had become much more beautiful. Madison appeared to notice that I was staring at her and turned to smile. Is she observing me? Perhaps I looked a little too long and looked away too soon. He said, "James, right?" "Yes, a long time has passed. Is everything all right?" "Huh. You were staring directly at me. You can have something you wanted to say," I thought. "Oh no, it's nothing like that." Madison was frightfully attractive in the light purple party dress. After only a brief exchange of words with her, my emotions from that time swiftly returned. I suppose I haven't completely forgotten about Madison. "You're pretty busy these days, isn't that what I heard earlier?" "Yeah, well, a little." Who told her, I wonder? Nevertheless, you found time to attend the reunion. Did you have a specific person in mind to see? What? Because, if we wanted to contact our high school classmates, we could do so anytime, right? Caught off guard and at a loss for words, I was left speechless. Watching me fumble for words, Madison chuckled. Feeling suddenly embarrassed, I laughed awkwardly while scratching my head, trying to play it off. As Madison and I engaged in casual conversation, we discovered we shared common interests, like enjoying walks and frequently going to the movies on weekends. It brought us closer. "Hey, Madison, do you have time after this? What if it's okay with you? Instead of going to the after party, would you like to grab a drink with me?" As our conversation flowed, I realized that I still had feelings for Madison, reigniting my old, unrequited love. Madison was momentarily surprised by my invitation, but quickly smiled and accepted it with, "I'd be delighted." As the reunion came to an end, we started looking for a place to go, considering we shouldn't stray too far from the station while mulling over various options. "Hey, how about this place?" "Oh yeah, that looks good. Let's go there." "Sure." The place Madison suggested was a small bar located in a corner of an old shopping district. Once inside, we found it to be quite cozy. It was quiet and had a great atmosphere. The bar was run by a middle-aged couple who were both kind and attentive, leaving nothing to be desired. Madison and I sat side by side at the counter, looking through the menu. We found a wide variety of dishes. "Wow, this is amazing. Really, it's hard to choose. Madison also flipped through the menu, seemingly undecided. If you're having trouble deciding, the daily special is a good choice. What's the daily special today? It's buffalo wings. The lady of the house recommended the daily special, and both Madison and I decided to go for it. Satisfied with the delicious meal, Madison and I spent a pleasant and calm time together. Perhaps due to its inconspicuous location, the bar was quiet, with only a few other customers besides Madison and me. What made you two decide to open this place? While observing the well-coordinated couple, Madison asked them. The wife was momentarily surprised but quickly smiled. We always talked about opening a place where we and everyone else could smile and spend a relaxed time ever since we met. Wow, that's wonderful. The wife laughed at Madison's reaction, while the husband shyly averted his gaze. After that, Madison and I spent our time at the bar, occasionally chatting with the couple. Couples like them are wonderful, aren't they? During a pause in our conversation with the couple, as the husband went back to cooking and the wife attended to other customers, Madison whispered, "Huh, don't you admire it? A peaceful couple like that. It's nice, isn't it? To run a small but cozy place like this." I was momentarily taken aback by Madison's unexpected remark. However, Madison's words led me to a certain resolution. I took a deep breath and turned my body to face Madison, who was sitting next to me. "Hey, Madison," I said. "Yeah? Do you have a partner now?" "No, I don't." Madison's cheeks were faintly red as she said this. Was it because of the alcohol, or perhaps? I see. Like you, I'm too busy with work to have time for a partner. Work is my lover, you could say. Madison laughed amusingly and took a bite of her chicken. "So, Madison, you're busy with work too? What do you do?" "I'm a public servant," Madison answered shortly, without turning her gaze towards me. A public servant. Huh. I imagined Madison working at an office, reaching out to help those in need. That suits her. Madison had always been kind and gentle since our school days, so it seemed like the perfect job for her. What about you, James? What do you do? I'm just a regular office worker. Nothing special. I see. Madison seemed to be enjoying the conversation. It was getting late into our meal. Sorry, I'm going to use the restroom. All right, okay. After watching Madison head to the restroom, I called over to the bartender. Excuse me. Yes. Could I get the bill for the two of us, please? Sure, no problem. The bartender's wife promptly moved the cash register after overhearing our conversation. As I took my wallet and headed towards the register near the entrance, the door to the bar opened with a loud noise. Huh, there's hardly anyone here, I muttered. A group of 6 rowdy-looking individuals entered the bar as if they owned the place. All right, this spot good, one of them asked. Yeah, it's empty. Anywhere's fine. Really? What do they have here? No idea. The ruffians spread out the menus on the table and started discussing loudly what to order. Hey, that looks good. What's this? One of them asked. The group began to make a lot of noise, talking loudly. And then, unbelievably, they started bothering the other customers who were just trying to enjoy their meals. Their intimidating appearance seemed to terrify the other customers, who were met with smirks from the ruffians. Don't be so scared. We're not going to do anything to you. We just wanted to make friends by talking to you, that's all. Hey, hurry up and take our order. The once quiet bar became noisy. The bartender stopped cooking, unsure of how to handle the sudden situation, while his wife looked on the verge of tears as she watched the ruffians. I couldn't stand the thought of these people ruining the peaceful atmosphere of a bar started by a couple who wanted to make their customers smile. Feeling I couldn't just stand by and watch, I decided to confront the ruffians. Hey, you guys. What? What do you want? Don't you care that you're bothering everyone around you? What? You playing hero, cool man? Huh, mind your own business. We're paying our way, so it's all good. This place is for quietly enjoying drinks and food. If you can't respect that, you telling us to get out. What gives you the right to act all high and mighty? Then you're the one who should leave. How about we just rent out this place for ourselves? Then we won't be bothering anyone, right? The ruffians seemed unfazed by my attempt to intervene. Instead, they suddenly decided to rent out the place and forcefully kick me out. Pushed by several of them, I was thrown out with nothing on me. All my belongings, including my phone, were left at the counter. Realizing I had left my phone behind, I reached for my pocket to call the police. "Excuse me, do any of you have a phone on you?" I asked the other customers, who, like me, had been kicked out of the store. But it turned out that everyone had left their belongings inside, and not a single person had a means to contact the police. Madison. I remembered that Madison had left for the restroom just before the ruffians showed up, which meant she was unaware of their presence inside. I tried to open the door, but it was locked from the inside. I moved to a window through which I could peek inside without being noticed by the ruffians. Just then, Madison came out of the restroom, unaware of the situation. She inevitably ran into the ruffians. Upon spotting Madison, the ruffians quickly surrounded her. "Hey, look, a lady all by herself. Got ditched by her boyfriend, huh? Why don't you have a drink with us and cheer up?" One of the ruffians put his arm around Madison's waist and pulled her close. Madison, unable to bear the thought of Madison being touched by their filthy hands, I tried to open the door in a rage, but it wouldn't budge. Even trying to force it open, I couldn't manage it alone. From my perspective, Madison seemed frightened by the ruffians, but in reality, she was completely calm. At that moment, the reason for her calmness would soon become clear. Instead of Madison screaming, what reached my ears as I struggled with the door was the sound of men's groans and a loud commotion. What? Is Madison being attacked? With the help of other customers, we managed to pry the door open, but what I saw was an unbelievable sight. The delicate Madison was gracefully taking down one ruffian after another, as if in a scene from a comic book. Despite their larger size, Madison was completely unharmed. In fact, seeing the situation, I almost felt sorry for the ruffians. "You bastards. We were being nice, and you got all cocky." Madison continued to throw the ruffians to the ground, one after another. Her movements were so swift that I couldn't even join in to help. I just watched the ruffians fall one by one. Actually, even if I had tried to help Madison, I would have just gotten in the way. Once the ruffians were all lying on the floor, unable to fight back, Madison let out a small sigh. Then she casually took out her phone from her pocket and started making a call. "Hello, this is Madison." "Yes, Madison. I'm currently at an AB district listening in." It seemed like she wasn't making a personal call, but rather one related to her work. "Aha, James." After ending the call, Madison immediately noticed me and hurried over, wearing a slightly awkward smile. "Madison, are you hurt at all? Are you okay?" "Yeah, I'm fine." "That's good to hear. Relieved to know you weren't harmed," I said, finally able to breathe easy. A few minutes later, several police cars pulled up in front of the store. They arrived quickly. Madison and I walked out of the bar together towards the cars. There, a police officer greeted her with a salute. "Good work, Madison. Great job." I could hear such exchanges reaching my ears. "Everyone's inside. Can you take the statements later?" "Of course," Madison replied, seemingly acquainted with the officers. There were so many things I wanted to ask Madison, like whether she was injured, what had happened, and how she knew the police officer. But I couldn't find the words for any of it. After some hesitation, I decided to ask Madison the one thing that was on my mind. "Madison, are you by any chance?" "Yes." "Related to the police?" "James, you're sharp." "Yes, I'm an active duty police officer." Madison pulled out her police badge from her bag. Indeed, the photo and name on it were unmistakably Madison's. It seems that after graduating from high school, Madison entered the police academy. It felt like a career Madison with her strong sense of justice, would choose. It made more sense than her being a public service worker, right? A public servant, huh? Well, yes, that's true. Police officers are public servants. So Madison wasn't wrong, but I felt a bit frustrated that I hadn't figured it out myself. The way I took down those ruffians. It's something I learned during my time at the police academy. See, I can handle being targeted now. Is that so? Sorry for keeping it a secret. I felt like the image you had of me was still from high school, so I just went with it. But where does someone as delicate as you get that kind of strength from? Haha, it's martial arts. Once you learn it, anyone can do it. Are you disappointed? What? No way. Really, that's good. Madison smiled at me, looking relieved. Actually, it's way too cool. In a gap with your usual self, you made me fall for you even more. I like you. Madison, I'm so happy that you first worried about whether I was hurt. Your kindness hasn't changed since high school, and that made me so happy. You're always you. James, does that mean? Yes, I like you too. And so, the feelings I harbored since high school finally found their resolution. Madison and I officially started dating.